Hey everybody, Brennan here. It is a Thursday, July something or other, 16th, I believe. Um, Today I wanted to talk about something that has been affecting my life as I started to get more in touch with like the gay community, and that is how much misogyny there is in the gay community. It's a huge problem. I honestly hear gay men say, like now that I'm privy to the conversations men have when women leave the room. I've heard gay men say far more disgusting things about women and their bodies, um, and just straight up sexist things than many straight guys that I listen to. Um, I think there's a factor in that like straight guys still sleep with women, so there are elements to the female body that they are attracted to. Even though they might trash talk the size of a woman's ass or thighs, um, they still retain respect for, or an ounce, I don't know, not respect. I guess they still, I don't know, just the amount of gynephobia run into. Like, I think that's a big thing. Gynephobia means fear of the vagina. And I understand gynephobia because, like, I mean, I don't think it's internalized gynephobia, but because of my bottom dysphoria, I really have a lot of problems with having a vagina. I hate it. It, like, grosses me out. And, gay guys feel similarly because, most of them, not most of them, but a lot of them, don't have sex with people with vaginas. So they say like a lot of really fucked up stuff about vaginas. And it's like I'm standing there and I have one. And it's like, I look like a cis gay guy now. Most people are so surprised that I'm transgender to the point that when I say that, they think I'm trans feminine. Like it just does, like they're shocked like when they find out that I was born with a female body and stuff. And it's like it's really weird to sit there. In a room when people are talking about like stank ass pussy and like it's like I have one, like it's really weird. It's really disconcerting, and I think it's something that gay men don't really think about. I mean, it's something that cis men and cis people in general don't really think about. Um, people say shit about like guys having small dicks, whatever, and it's like I'm standing there, I'm like I literally have no dick, and I'm still a man, and it's like these are the kind of like microaggressions that transgender people experience every day, um, just from sort of like generalizations that people will make about even just like the physical reality of males and females can be really isolating when people in the room don't know you're transgender and they're saying stuff like that. Um, and I feel like probably trans women deal with it a lot more. Like, I work at a movie theater, and Ted 2 is currently in theaters. It's awful. Don't fucking waste your time. I don't feel like that even needs to be said. But there's 3 minutes of transgender jokes. Like one of the characters. Mark Wahlberg's character was looking at she-male porn online, and they end up having to like delete the files, but destroy the computer and throw it in the harbor. And it's like there's a lot more. There's porn like way worse than she-male porn. Like it's so ridiculous. Like that they're portraying that this is something so shameful that you would have to destroy your computer and destroy all evidence. Like, as a trans person, I'm keenly aware that I am a demographic of person that you must avoid sleeping with at all costs. And you must never talk about being attracted to us. That's shameful. Like, it's really ugly, and it's really weird being in a theater, working. It's like a dine-in movie theater. And there's like rows of people just laughing, open mouth laughing at these jokes, and I want to just got to be like, I'm transgender. I'm the person that like you're laughing about. I exist in the world. Like I exist. Like and I'm not a fucking joke. Like, so it's just really frustrating. Like you're just surrounded by that stuff a lot. Just the microaggressions about trans bodies. And yeah, gynephobia is a big one in the gay community, and I think it's starting to change a little bit because there are gay trans guys are gaining just a lot more visibility. Like Buck Angel does a lot of gay porn. But like gay trans guys have always been there. Like Lou Sullivan, who pretty much just like discovered gender identity in the '90s. Like he was one of the first trans people to write about gender identity, and he died of AIDS in like the '90s, and he came out of like the Butch movement and the FTM movement, and like um, yeah, there's like he was gay. Like I mean, we've always existed. Like James Barry, the surgeon, who I've discussed in videos here from the 1800s, who was discovered to be female bodied upon his death. He had male lovers throughout his life, so it's like it's not that weird. It's not like unheard of for a guy to have a vagina. Like I don't know. I also like really have a problem with like performative hyper masculinity in the gay community, and like I know this comes out of a historical situation in which gay men were considered feminine and were equated with feminine, and females being the second sex and the lesser sex. There's just a lot of misogyny that's going on with homophobia. Homophobia is misogyny directed at men perceived to be more women than men, due to their mannerisms or their sexual proclivities. Be what it is, like it's misogyny. That's what it is. Homophobia. I also heard a great quote that homophobia is a straight man's fear that gay men will treat him the way he treats women. I just thought that was a pretty good one. So they're very intersectional issues, and there's a lot of fear in the gay community of femmes, and like it's called femphobia, and you'll see all the time if you just go on Grindr or any other sort of like gay dating thing. No femme, no femme, no femme, like mask only, mask for mask, like no sissies, and like even just being like a feminine guy, they're kind of relegated into the sphere of like sissy bottom, and like it's all sort of like amalgamated together. I don't like that. um, I don't know, like my being sort of more feminine, because I would consider myself that. I don't know, not even really. I'm just like I don't know, like in the middle. I don't know. That doesn't mean I'm like 100% sexually submissive. It doesn't mean I like don't enjoy topping. Like it doesn't mean that I want to be treated a certain way. It's just kind of my aesthetic. It's I don't know. Femininity gets attached to a lot of things within the gay community, and it's sexist. It's misogynist. It's and like bottoms are seen like even within the gay community as like gayer, and like if you look at like ancient Rome, like it was okay to top. I was like socially acceptable for an adult man to like have a relationship with like a pederastic relationship with a younger male. But someone like Julius Caesar, who was known to enjoy bottoming, that was very taboo. That was very unmanly. They believed that once you reached a level of maturity, you would be the giver in that relationship, instead of the taker. So that's been a taboo for a really long time, and yeah, that still persists today. I don't know, and I just think that's really interesting. And they have like the whole idea of like a gold star gay, ones who've never slept with a woman are somehow like venerated. And I don't know. I know that as I've become more comfortable with my body and myself, I've found that I'm increasingly attracted to women, and I think that's just something I couldn't really do in a female space because like I'm not a lesbian, like I'm not a queer woman. It would just like really enhance my dysphoria to be in that dynamic. And I think that like there's a lot of gay guys who like don't necessarily like aren't necessarily like turned off completely by women. I think there's a lot of gray area And I think this is something that, like, the opening up of sexuality just in the sexual umbrella into, like, more of, like, instead of, like, a gay and straight dichotomy into, like, queer and bi and heteroflexible and, like, Kinsey 5, like, all these, like, new ways of describing where you're at, is really helping not only, like, straight people become in touch with their queer side. It's like, like, it's, homosexuals can have a heterosexual experience, like, it's not, that doesn't really take away from your being gay. It doesn't make you, like, less gay. I don't know. It's silly. Like, and these are a lot of the reasons why I have a really hard time getting along with a lot of cis gay men. Is, I mean, there's so much drinking over one's self-worth and fucking over one's self-worth going on in those communities, and that's not where I'm at with drinking or sex anymore. Obviously. Also, there's just, like, so much, like, they have, like, cliques based on facial hair, It's one of the most superficial, like, fucking scenes ever, and I hate it. Like, I really... I don't know. It's annoying. Like, little notes here. Back to kind of, like, the performative hypermasculinity and, being equated to women. There's also just, like, a social trend in general where when you're a group that's getting stigmatized and treated like shit by people above you in society, you're going to turn that around on somebody else who's lower than you. And you see this historically going on all the time. Irish immigrants were known, and, like, I mean, Irish communities today are still known for being very racist. When you weren't getting hired, like, you would pick on somebody lower than you. It's like, yeah, I'm Irish and no one will fucking hire me and I'm poor as shit, but at least I'm not black. Like, and then that's what was going on in South Boston is, like, yeah, just those negative feelings. And you see it also with the way many communities of color treat queer people within their communities. It's sort of like this punching down and releasing the frustrations on you, like, on people below. And I also see that between, cis gays and trans people as well. And it's easy to do. And I think gay men pick on women because it's like, yeah, I'm a gay man, but I'm not a woman. Like, and it's like, it's so ugly. Like, and I have a huge problem with it. I have a huge problem. I use the word faggot privately. I use fag to refer to myself privately. I feel weird using it in public because I wasn't raised male and I never had that word shouted at me by my father or in a locker room. I never had that word used in a way like that. So I feel weird reclaiming it in a public sense. Dyke was the word I always heard. Dyke was thrown at me all the time and used to shame me. And that's a word I have a lot of trouble hearing. It's very triggering to me today to hear that word. So yeah, I really don't like when I hear gay guys say words like cunt. And they say it all the time. That's so cunt. Oh my god, you're such a cunt. Like, A, you probably don't fucking have a cunt. And B, you've never had that word used at you in, like, full force in your face from, like, your boyfriend telling you to shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking cunt. Like, or, you've never had, like, some dude on the street grab your ass and when you push him off you, he goes, fuck you, you fucking cunt, like, and spits at you. If you've never had those experiences, you shouldn't be saying cunt. Like, you shouldn't be calling anyone a cunt. Like, and I love that word. I love it, I love it, I love it. I love reclaiming it. It's the word I prefer for that genital part. Like, it's a very powerful, earthy, strong, and terrifying word, and I really enjoy it. But I don't like people who... I've never really felt what it's like to be called that and to, like, reclaim it in an empowering way, use it. And bitch, I understand because I know that, like, effeminate men get called bitches and that's sort of a double sorted thing. But the use of cunt in the gay community really needs to go away. And I think that comes out of drag. And... I mean, drag is performance. You're still not a woman. And to a certain extent, many drag queens, and I know it's comedy, and it's wonderful comedy, But sometimes it's female face, and sometimes it can be when that person in their real life doesn't respect women, and then they're going and thinks them all as bitches and cunts, and then they're going on stage being a bitch and a cunt and saying bitch cunt bitch cunt. Like, it's just, you don't like women, like you hate women, and it's really obvious, and they don't even factor into your life or your conception of your art or like your friendships. Like, it's really weird. And I think maybe that might even just come with like being in an all male space. Maybe that's also part of it, because I had a good friend who was writing, and I read his stuff, and I'm like, there's not a single female voice in this. I know it's a piece about gay men and a coming of age gay story, but it's weird. It's weird to think of because women have factored my whole life have factored so heavily into my existence because I was raised female, and for men who have sex with women and for women who have sex with women, women obviously factor into their lives and the way they conceptualize the world, and it's really bizarre and one-sided and isolating to read something that like has not a single like shred of female to it, like, at all. Like, it's really weird. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna cut it right there because I have other stuff I wanted to do today. But misogyny in the gay community is something that I really feel like gay men need to step up and address. It's ugly. It's a way that we police each other. It's something that isolates trans men who are just as much men as you are. Um, and it's just annoying. Like, it's just we get enough. Like, we get enough as a community. We feel enough shame and get enough shit for our bodies and for being who we are and like for how we have sex and things like that. You don't need to do it to women. Women get enough as well. They get attacked all the time, and everything they do is questioned. Everything that they're interested in, it's questioned whether they're really interested in it or if they're just trying to be trendy, or their boyfriend likes punk rock, so that's why they like punk. Like, a woman can't be herself ever without it being questioned. And we go through that too as a community in a different way. And I've been through it in a female space, and I've gone through it to a certain extent in a gay space, although I didn't have the experience of coming out as like a young gay man. It's just ugly to turn that around on somebody else, and I think it's something that gay men, especially cisgender gay men, need to start taking in check. So, I don't know, that's all from me. It has been a lovely day so far, and I hope all y'all are in the same spot.